Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a little bit more raunchy and a little bit more adult. If you are a family member or anybody that feels uncomfortable listening to anything sexual in regards to me or listening to me discuss certain topics, then please click off this video now and I promise I will upload a more appropriate video next time. If you would like to continue with this video and hear about my sexual experiences, you aren't uncomfortable with this kind of discussion, then carry on watching and I hope that you enjoyed this video. It will become clear to you at the end of this video why I'm doing a quiz like this, but with Valentine's Day coming up, I feel like this is a very appropriate video anyway. Whether or not you're single or in a relationship or seeing someone or messing around with someone, Valentine's Day is coming up, and whilst I personally don't celebrate it even when I was in a relationship, I thought I'd just do this video anyway, just because why not? It's topical, isn't it? This is a sex personality test. First question is, how many times have you had sex in the following settings/situations? In the same room where other people are sleeping. I've never had sex in the same room where someone else is sleeping. For me personally, I just feel like that's really disrespectful, and also I just couldn't get in the zone if somebody else was in the room. It also depends who's in the room. I feel like that's borderline just really unconsensual and just not right at all. I've had people have sex in the same room as me before and I got angry and upset each time because to me it's just really disrespectful and I didn't ask to be put in a situation like that. I don't find it hot or steamy or anything like that. I think it's just wrong. In my personal opinion, I would never have sex with somebody else in the room. I just think that's really disrespectful and we're gonna say never for that one. In a guest room while visiting friends or family. No, I've never had that either. At a strip club, peep show, X-rated movie theatre. No, never done that. I've never been to a strip club or a peep show, and I would never do it in a movie theatre either. I feel like there's a time and place. Don't get me wrong, I think it's great to have sex in public sometimes. I think it's thrilling and it's great and I've definitely done it. Again, family members, please click away. But I think that there are definitely boundaries, especially in places filled with loads of other people. I feel like you've got to have a line that you don't cross when you're doing that stuff, because as thrilling as it is, and I understand the thrill of it, I think you have to be considerate again of other people around you and the fact that it's a little bit unconsensual and a little disrespectful. I think you have to be very careful about the specific place you're doing it in. I don't know, maybe I'm just a grandma, but in the bathroom of a public space. No, I haven't had sex in the bathroom of a public space, but I have done other things, but we're gonna put never anyway. In the bathroom at a friend, family member's house. No. See, I feel like I would never have risky sex with a partner or anybody in somebody else's house. Again, I just feel like that's crossing a line that you don't cross. I feel like it's disrespectful, like I'm all down for being adventurous. It doesn't sound like it right now because I've answered never for all of these, but I just feel like that's disrespectful, dude. At a club, a bar, or a movie theatre. Again, no. Personally though, I never went to a club when I was with my ex because I just wasn't really into that anymore. It just wasn't my scene. He wasn't drinking anymore, I wasn't drinking anymore, so there was never the opportunity to do that. And again, the whole movie theatre thing, just a big no-no for me. At a party. No, again, we never went to parties, but it's also hard because the pandemic came around during the time that we were together. Anybody else that I've seen after him, we obviously can't go to parties or anything, it's just coming here, and I take it as a support bubble because I live on my own basically, and so therefore anybody that I have invited around here as a guy, this is the most adventurous I'm gonna get at the moment, my flat, so I'm gonna sneeze. Oh no, pineapple, it's gone. In a car, I haven't had full-blown sex in a car, but I have partaken in activities in a car, so I'm gonna go for 2 to 3 times because I have done other stuff but not full-blown sex, so we'll go with that. Outdoors in a public area, yes. I have a very specific memory of doing something. I won't go into it because I won't but I have indeed done it outside and it was a great memory. It's also a really sad memory when I look back at the timing of it. Still very confusing to me, but it happened. Don't regret it. It was very hot. I'm confused because it happened at a point when my life was about to change forever, and I still don't quite understand, but perhaps that was his way of saying goodbye. I don't know what was going through his head, but there you have it. What is your view on bondage? I'm into bondage, I'm into slapping, I'm into choking, I'm into it. What is your view on sexual spanking that leaves light red marks? Again, very into it. I'm very, very much into it. I am down. Don't get me wrong, I think if you take it too far, I've definitely had someone take it too far before and they ended up crying. But when you're using the safe word and that gets disregarded, that's when there's a problem. If you're using a safe word and you're doing stuff like that, someone should respect when you do start to feel like things are going too far. You should be respected. But I'm into it as long as there's a safe word and you discuss it beforehand, which obviously I did do. But I think sometimes people get caught up in the heat of the moment and then take it too far, and it can be quite a traumatizing experience when someone ignores that you're no longer comfortable with how hard they're going. But I am very much into it. I am. What is your view on couples recording themselves having sex? I think it's great. I have indeed done that too. And I honestly thought it was hilarious to watch back. I thought it was funny. We just laughed when we were watching it back. Yeah, I just thought it was really funny, and I also thought it was hot, and I thought it was a fun thing to do. So I don't judge anybody for doing that shit. I think it's cool as long as you know you can trust the person that's recording you, and you know that if you break up or whatever, they're going to delete it. Then I think it's totally fine. You know, I don't find anything weird about it at all. I think it's really cool. What is your view on couples watching themselves in the mirror while having sex? Honestly, I've never done this. I've always avoided looking in the mirror. I think it would put me off more than anything, but I don't think there's an issue with it. I think if you're looking in the mirror, that can be quite hot too. But for me personally, I would never do it. What is your view on role playing, e.g. cheerleader/football hero? I think role playing's chill. I've never done it myself, but I'm not gonna kink shame anybody. I think if I had the opportunity to roleplay, I definitely would do it and try it out, but I don't know that that's in my comfort zone. But who knows, sometimes you try new things and then you are into it. So yeah, I think it's chill. What is your view on threesomes? I think threesomes are great if you're not in a relationship. If you're in a relationship and you keep making hints about wanting a threesome, especially when your partner is bisexual, I think it's really wrong and out of order, especially when they are showing that they are uncomfortable and upset by those jokes. I don't think it's funny at all. It's definitely really hurtful when your partner keeps bringing up the idea of a threesome and you keep saying that it's not something you're into, because for me, in a relationship, I want to feel wanted and I want me to be all they need. Call me selfish or weird for wanting my partner to only want me, but personally, a threesome in a relationship is a big no-no, and for me, just isn't right. I think that your partner should respect that, and if those are your views on it, then he should not be pressuring you to do that, he or she, whatever. But outside of a relationship, I'd be totally down to try it. I think as long as you're all consenting and there's none of you have actual feelings for each other, I think it won't get messy and it can just be something that you've experienced and had a fun time doing. But again, if you're in a relationship, a big no for me, because I feel like I would never want to watch my partner get with somebody else right in front of me, and the thought of that isn't hot at all. There is nothing hot about a threesome with a partner, but when I think about a threesome with two people that I'm not feeling anything for romantically, that's really hot. But a partner and someone else, nothing worse. Makes me sick to my stomach. So it's definitely, it depends on the circumstance and the situation. What's your view on having sex during menstruation? I think it's fine. I think it's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it, and I think if your partner is down with that, then they're definitely very mature and very in tune with their sexuality. I think there's nothing to be disgusted about, really. It's exactly the same as having sex not on menstruation. If I'm honest with you, it feels absolutely no difference. It can be a little bit messier, but it's not like what you would expect. So I think if you're both comfortable and you're both consenting and you're both down, then yeah, go for it. It's never stopped me. So what is your view on anal sex, penetration with penis, finger or sex toys? Anal sex is great. That's all I'm gonna say. What is your view on the use of sex toys? I think that's also great. I think experimenting can be really fun, and it's not that your partner's not enough, it's literally just adding things to the fun of it, and I think it's really fun. So yeah. What is your view, I can't talk. What is your view on phone sex with your partner? Honestly, for me personally, I'm not into phone sex. I really can't do it. It makes me really awkward and uncomfortable. If I want to be talking to you in that way and I want to be doing stuff to you, I'll do it in person. I don't need to pick up the phone and do that shit. If you want that kind of connection out of me, we're gonna do it in person. We are not doing it over the phone. Just for me personally, it makes me uncomfortable, and for many different reasons. But I think it's chill if anybody else wants to do it, so I'm gonna say I think it's awful, because personally for me, I'm not down. What is your view on partners watching pornographic movies together? Watching pornographic movies together, hot, fine, totally chill. Your partner watching them without you, I think is also fine. I think there needs to be a line though, like things like subscribing to your friend's OnlyFans or getting off to girls on a dating website or whatever. I class that as cheating myself personally. I feel like that is cheating. Most people do not agree with me, but I personally feel like that is cheating, and that definitely hurts a lot. And so I think as long as you have that conversation of what's comfortable for each other and you communicate what your boundaries are, I think you're fine. Watching them together I see no issue with, and I think that's hot as fuck, and as long as you both agree to it, that's fine. Personally, I was not into that. Because again, maybe I'm just insecure, but I want my partner to only want me, and I should be good enough for my partner, you know, especially when we've not been together long. I should be enough. So yeah. What is your view on oral sex? Amazing, we love that, we stan. What is your view on sexy lingerie and attire? I think it's amazing, although it is a little bit pointless, because I swear, every guy's reaction, you put on lingerie, you walk in the room, and I mean, I had some awful experiences. I'm not going to go into it because I don't want him to think I'm shading him or whatever, but I can think of a few awful experiences that made me feel like shit. But most of the time they'll just rip it off with you and be like, oh, take that off, and then you're like, damn, I spent loads on that. And you've looked at it for 10 seconds and now you've ripped it off. I get it, you look better naked, but it's annoying. So sometimes I feel like it's not really worth it, but I definitely understand doing that for your partner. Even if they do just rip it off, I guess that's showing their appreciation. Where do you like to have sex when you're at home? Anywhere the mood strikes for me. Anywhere. How important is sex in your life? I could hardly survive without it. It's very important. Somewhat important. I could live without it. If it were up to me, sex wouldn't even exist. I'd say now I can hardly survive without it. But then I feel like that's because now that I've been more sexual and been in a relationship and been around a little bit now, I feel like now that I'm exploring my sexuality more, it's hard to live without. Whereas beforehand I had never really cared about sex that much, and it wasn't something I needed. It was something I longed for, but I didn't need it, you know? But I feel like the older you get and the more experimenting you do, the more important it becomes in your life, for sure. How do you feel about the act of sex? In general, I love having sex. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that. How do you feel about giving oral sex? I love it. I do. I love it. How do you feel about receiving it? I also love it. It depends on the person, though, I realised recently. Shade. Do you watch pornographic movies with your partner? Let's change that to with whoever you're seeing. No, I really don't. Do you own and wear sexual lingerie and attire? I do, and I do wear them quite often. I like to feel sexy, even if I'm not seeing anybody, even if I'm just wearing it underneath my uniform. I just like to feel sexy. It makes me feel good about myself, you know? Do you use sex toys? Yes, I do. I do indeed. How do you feel about giving anal sex? About giving it or receiving? Oh, giving it. I've never given anal sex, but I feel like I could try it. I'm okay with it because I've never actually given it, but I'd be down to try. I'm not going to judge. How do you feel about receiving anal sex? I love it. I'm not going to lie, I do. And whenever I tell anybody that, they really don't believe me. And don't get me wrong, it can be painful if you don't do it in the right way or you rush into things, but I feel like you definitely have to be in the right type of mood with the right type of person who will listen to you and take it slow and easy at first. I've had some great experiences with it, and I've also had some awful experiences with it, but overall, yeah, it's pretty good. How do you feel about getting undressed while your sexual partner watches you? It's a turn on for me, for sure. I used to feel really uncomfortable with it, but after being in a relationship, it's like I really don't care anymore, and I love that for me. How comfortable are you with sex in bright light or daylight? Completely comfortable. Completely. And do you express your sexual pleasure with moans, groans, sighs and other noises, provided that you are actually turned on? Yeah, of course, every time. I feel like I used to be quite quiet in the bedroom, but now I'm just so much more free. Like, I was thinking about this the other night, and I was reflecting after something, and I was like, you know what, I'm proud of myself. Like, I never could have done that a year, 2 years ago. I was so shy in the bedroom when I had one night stands with guys. It was the most awkward, awful experience ever, and I was like, what's the big deal with sex? And then after my relationship, and anybody I've seen after him, it's like, now I just have this confidence, and it's crazy because I didn't think I'd get that back, especially after my heartbreak. I didn't think that I'd still have confidence, but it's almost like I don't feel any shame anymore when it comes to my sexuality, and I think that's the best part of my breakup, is learning to love myself and to be free like that, and to not hold so much meaning to sex anymore. And in a way it makes me sad that I've lost that innocence towards it, but at the same time I feel like I'm able to experiment more now before I find my next partner, because I would quite like to explore my sexuality more before I settle down again, and I'm not ready to settle down yet because I'm in therapy and I'm trying to sort out my trust issues and all of the trauma and stuff. But once I've gotten over all of that and I've truly moved on, I now know that I can at least be sexual with other people without feeling sad or anything like that. It's great, because I thought I wouldn't be able to sleep with anyone ever again, but it turns out I can. So yeah. Do you talk to your partner in a sexually explicit way? Yeah. Again, don't have a partner, but we'll say person. So yes, I do. It feels great, actually. I've definitely got a lot more confidence in that one too. What is your view on masturbation? It's only okay when the person is single. Are you joking me? It's okay only when the person is single? Nah. It's okay for everybody, single or married, it does not matter. You can masturbate whenever you want. I think as long as you're not masturbating over anybody else. If you're masturbating over the thought of your partner, in my opinion, if you get home and your partner's like, I just had to earlier, I was thinking about you, that is the hottest shit ever. I don't care what anyone says. And they've still got needs when you're not there. Like, say you're at work one day and your partner's off work, they've still got to do what they got to do. As long as it's not to other people, unless it's like porn or something, I feel like it's totally fine and there's nothing to be mad about. I feel like the only reason jealousy or anything like that would come in for me is if they were doing it, again, like I say, on a dating app or something hurtful like that, because that kind of pain you can't ever take away, trust me. I think masturbation is healthy in a relationship or not. How comfortable are you about your own masturbation? I have never ever masturbated in my entire life and don't plan to start. I'm sorry, I don't believe there's a single person out there that has never masturbated. I'm so sorry, but anytime someone tells me I've never masturbated, I'm like, you're a fucking liar. Like, how do you discover yourself sexually if you've never masturbated? You telling me you've never been curious? You telling me you've never touched yourself? Like, that is just the biggest lie ever. I'm sorry, but I can't imagine a world in which people don't do that. There's nothing to be ashamed of, and I know that there's obviously asexual people out there, but even them, they must have tried it to see. Maybe I'm getting into weird territory, but personally, I don't understand not masturbating, but I mean, whatever, if you don't do that, that's fine. I'm gonna get myself into some drama here. I feel comfortable with the fact that I masturbate, and everybody should. Obviously, if you're asexual or whatever, totally fine, totally chill, nothing wrong with that. Sex is not everything, you know. If you are asexual, peace and love to you. I just personally don't understand when people that are very sexually active and they make sex jokes and stuff, when they claim that they've never masturbated. That's what confuses me, because I'm like, please put the stigma on masturbation away. Let's get rid of that energy in 2021. It's about time we are comfortable with talking about these things. Do you like to watch your partner masturbate? Yes, it's a turn on for me. Absolutely. Do you let your partner watch you masturbate? Now, this is the one thing that I can't do in the bedroom, and maybe this is too much information, but I don't care, dudes. I don't care. I have never let a single sexual partner, we'll say sexual partner because I've only had one partner, but sexual partner, I have never allowed anyone to watch me do that, and I don't know what it is, I just can't do it. I can't. I feel shameful allowing someone to watch me do that to myself, and I know there's nothing wrong with it, but for some reason I genuinely can't, and I don't know what it is. Like, it makes me feel weird, and I wish that's the one thing I want to get over in the bedroom. Actually, I want to do that for someone, because even in my relationship I couldn't do it, and I don't know what it is. I've always felt weird about it, and anything else I've felt weird about in the bedroom I've overcome, and I've just done it and enjoyed it and been like, oh, what was the big deal? So maybe once I do this I'll feel the exact same way. So yeah. How many different sexual positions do you use during sex? Honestly, in general, say 2 to 3. It never usually goes more than that. I can only think of a few times with someone where we've tried more than I'd say 4 or 5 or even 6. There's definitely one memory I had where we definitely tried a good 5 to 6, but that was because it was a special occasion and that's all I asked for. I'm not a needy girl. I don't ask for presents, I just ask for enjoyment for both of us. Have you had sex during menstruation, yours or your partner's? Yes, on multiple occasions, I definitely have. Does the idea of giving or receiving a spanking during intercourse turn you on? Yes, it does. And you know what? I thought I would be put off of it from the one experience I had that one time where I started crying. But do you know what? I'm still into it. I do feel like I have actually answered half of these wrong because I didn't understand the rating system on the website. So I think I've actually got a really inaccurate result, but it says my spiciness is 55, and it says your results indicate that you are comfortable experimenting sexually, but you haven't explored a wide variety of options from the great palette of sex. You do have a creative nature which keeps your sexual liaison satisfactorily spicy, but you aren't the most adventurous love bug on the planet. You seem to have discovered what pleases you and plan to stick with it. As long as you are sexually fulfilled, keep it up. And that seems to be a pretty good summary of me, to be honest. As long as you know what you like and where you would push your boundaries and where you wouldn't. I think experimenting is great, but always know what makes you uncomfortable. Sometimes doing what makes you uncomfortable can open a lot of doors for you and can really make you feel great and much better about your sexuality. I've definitely experimented with so many things in the last 2 years. In the last 2 years I've become a much different person sexually and so much more confident. I'm a completely different person in the bedroom, and that is through experimenting and pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. But I think you just need to be careful with the person that you're partaking in that stuff in, you know. It doesn't always have to be a partner, it can be someone you're seeing casually, and I think that as long as you're being safe and you are communicating with your partner or your friend with benefits or your friend or whoever it may be, I think as long as you're communicating and you're being safe, that is all that truly matters. As long as you are both consenting and down and not forcing anything on each other, go wild and have a great time. The whole point of this video was just as a little Valentine's treat, and to also say that I have now made an accountancy account, and if you know what that stands for, you'll know exactly what I'm talking for. It is an OF account. I'm not sure that I can say the full name on YouTube, but I have made this account and it is at @rrambles, and you can go ahead and subscribe. I have got 50% off for all my first 10 subscribers on there, and I've just posted my first bit of content. I am going to be filming more content for that tonight, and I hope that this will help on my sexual journey to learning what I'm comfortable with and to appreciating my body and feeling more confident within myself and not caring what others think about me. I've always respected girls that do OF because, in my opinion, it's the sexiest thing to be so confident within yourself that you can put yourself out there online and make money from your own body and your own sexual liberation. And I think that it's incredible to know how much you are worth and charge people to see that side of you. And I think as long as you're having a fun time doing it and you're making money and you don't care who sees it, or you don't care what other people think of you, or if people think you're a slut or whatever, I think it's a great path to go down. And I probably wouldn't have had the same opinion a few years ago, but I've definitely matured in that way and grown up and learnt that everybody is free to do whatever they want with their own bodies, and you only live once, so you might as well explore your sexuality to the fullest and get what you can out of it. Personally, I wanted to start this up to help myself out a little more financially, and whilst I am budgeting and I'm paying for this flat really well and I do have enough to survive every month and I'm fine, I do just want a little bit of extra money just to save up for my half sleeve and for a few more big tattoos, just because at the moment we're in a weird place in the world, and I thought that this would be a fun hobby to do and to earn a little bit of extra cash. And I thought, people have been asking me if I do OF for the longest time. I've been getting DMs on Instagram about it, asking me if I do it and if they can subscribe, and I thought, you know what, there's clearly a market that want me to do it, and so I'm going to be doing it. So that's at rrambles, and you can go and follow me. I think I've put my limit to $6 or something at the moment for monthliness. I might, for monthliness, per month. I may increase that based on the content that I give out, but for now I'm going to see how comfortable I am doing certain things, and as I explore myself more on there and how comfortable I am and how well it does, I will give more out and I will experiment a little bit more. So I hope that you guys are excited for that one. I know it's been something that my male subscribers especially have been wanting me to do for a really long time, and I just feel like I'm ready to do it, so bring it on. New year, new me, and thank you so much for watching. You can like, comment and subscribe. I make new videos every single week, or at least I try to, and I will see you in my next one. Thank you for watching, much love, stay safe, bye.